Today I'm going to be doing Tabor's 1 month update, and I was not actually planning on nursing in this video, but as soon as I sat down to make it, he wanted to nurse. So that is the life of a newborn. We will see if he wants to nurse the whole time. He'll probably fall asleep because he's actually pretty tired, and then you guys will get to see him a little bit more instead of just like this. But he is as cute as can be. So I had his stats for you from my previous appointment, but I can't seem to find the papers. But basically, he is about 9 pounds, maybe. I can't remember if he's like a bunch over or a little bit over, but he's definitely gaining weight still. He's like right at the 50th percentile for weight, and I think also for head circumference, where he's like the 90th, maybe 99th percentile is for length or height. He is still super long, and he keeps growing. I remember the pediatrician at the last appointment was like, well, we may have accidentally like stretched him a bit so that maybe the measurement was not quite right, because he really was like 99th percentile. But he's definitely a bigger baby. He is not super small just because he's so long. And at 1 month, he has already grown so much, not just physically, but in a bunch of other ways. He's definitely becoming way more present, which is amazing. Obviously, he's really able to recognize our faces now, look at us, focus on us, track our faces, versus before, he really couldn't focus on our faces, and it was kind of like you knew he was probably seeing like a blur or blobs of color, and only like really highly contrasted colors would stand out to him. But now he's definitely looking us in the eyes, and occasionally a little smile will peek out. He actually smiles the most when he's sleeping, which is the sweetest little thing. He's done 2 little giggles while he was sleeping, and it is like, the cutest. I wish I had it on camera because it is the cutest thing you've ever seen. His little giggles. And I can't wait until he laughs in real life, but I know that's probably a little ways off. But the smiles I will take because they just light up my world, and I love when he has his little smiles. So he is still a super sweet, super easygoing baby. He really isn't a big crier. He doesn't cry very much at all. He does cry a little bit more than he was when he was like very first born, but still pretty much doesn't cry, very easygoing. He actually communicates a lot more through like grunts. He does a lot of grunting. He's a big grunter. He makes a lot of really funny noises, which are entertaining, but he makes them at night as well, which is not as entertaining. But still, the times that he cries are mostly, I would say the biggest trigger would be when he's tired. So there's like 2 big times throughout the day where he gets really tired, and if he's not like just like nursing or like about to be laid down, or he's just like overstimulated and just ready to close his eyes and be done, it's like in the afternoon and also right before bed. So those are the 2 times where he can definitely start to cry a lot more than he normally does. And I'm like, yeah, he's definitely tired. So he needs to go. He needs to have his quiet snuggle time until he falls asleep. So, and he's basically asleep right now. So let's see if we can manage that. One thing that you might have noticed with him, maybe you haven't, maybe you have, is he has definitely a case of the baby acne, and it's actually pretty bad. Not bad, it's like totally normal, but it's worse than what Juniper had, because Juniper definitely had the baby acne too when she was about this age. I'm gonna see if he's gonna sit up here to sleep a little bit. But for him, it's definitely a lot more spread out over his face, and I honestly think it's because I wear him so much. So while I'm wearing him, his face is on my skin, so my oils are getting on to his skin, my sweat is getting onto his skin. I wear him like when I'm outside, so I have my coat on, so there's more heat, more sweat, that kind of thing. So I really think that's a big factor in why it's a bit worse than Juniper's. But I do in the morning, and I can tell it's from wearing him, because in the morning it's so much calmed down. I'm like, oh, it's really starting to go away. And not that it's a big deal, it doesn't bother him at all, but I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's starting to go away. And then by the end of the day, after wearing him so much, it's definitely a lot more red and inflamed from being so close to my skin all day long. So sorry about that, buddy, but you like to be worn. He does like to be worn for the most part. Sometimes he gets a little restless, but for the most part, he still loves to be worn, which is nice for me because with a toddler, I need my hands. And also just doing stuff around the house, it's super helpful to wear him. And I love that he likes to be worn, so that's good too. What else, buddy? What else? He is a pretty good sleeper at 1 month old. I think Juniper was actually a better sleeper than him, but he goes down easier, if I remember right. It's hard to remember exactly, and I really should look back on like the videos I made with Juniper, which I did. I did monthly updates with her as well. But I can put him down and he will basically go to sleep after, like nursing him and swaddling him and everything. He will go down and he will be asleep he might stir a little bit, but then he'll actually fall asleep on his own. With Juniper, I had to nurse her to sleep and then very, very carefully lay her down, and if she woke up, she definitely would not be putting herself back to sleep. It was me putting her back to sleep by nursing again. She literally had to like go to sleep from nursing, and then once she was asleep, as long as she didn't wake up when I was sitting her down, she was fine. But for him, he falls asleep a lot easier, which is great. He is some nights, and it goes back and forth, so I think it definitely depends on if he's like in a growth spurt or how much he nurses throughout the day. But I would say on average he goes about 4 hours a night before having to nurse again. So sometimes he'll do a longer stretch, and that's really, really great for me. So sometimes he'll do like a 5 hour, 6 hour stretch, and then after that first feeding, it's like every 2 to 3 hours he'll wake up. But I would say on average it's about every 4 hours I have to get up with him. So I usually get up with him twice a night, sometimes 3 times a night, and on a very rare occasion I've only had to get up once. So he's doing pretty good. I can't complain that much, but he's doing pretty good, and he just wants to nurse some more, so we're probably just gonna do that. The other thing that Tabor really does not like is the car seat. He is getting a little bit better with it, but he definitely is not a huge fan of the car seat. He still has the infant insert in, and I think that is playing a big role in that, so hopefully he'll be able to have that out very soon. We'll probably weigh him again just here at our house and see if we can take that out. Not sure we're there yet, but almost. But besides that, he doesn't seem to really mind Juniper's loud noises, because she can be pretty loud singing songs all day. He doesn't seem to mind any of that. And he's very aware of the noises, so it's not like there's anything to worry about there. But he's just pretty easygoing, which is amazing. It's really great. He loves his classical music, which is so cute. So when he does start to cry in the car, we usually turn on classical music for him, and I swear it works like almost every time. So he loves his classical music. It's very soothing for him. He still hasn't had a real bath yet. He's only had like the sponge wipe down baths, because his belly button is weirdly still a little bit goopy. So he has lost the umbilical cord and everything, but it's still just like drying up in there, and the pediatrician said to just wait until it's fully dried up So he hasn't had a full bath yet, and I'm excited for him to have his first bath. I think he'll really like it because he hates the like wiping down. It's obviously cold. He's not fully submerged in the water. It's just like a washcloth and stuff. But he does really like having his hair washed under the running water. So I think he's gonna really like a bath and having bath time. He went through his very first Thanksgiving, which he really didn't know or care about. I just wore him mostly because he's just so little. It's just so different. Juniper had, I think, her first Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure she had a little bit of pumpkin pie. So very different just because she was born in the spring and he's born in winter time. Just how different it's gonna be. The only other major update I have for him is that we have actually taken him to, I'm gonna butcher what it's called, but it's like cranial sacral physical therapy or something like that. Basically, he definitely favors one side of turning his head, and that can cause a lot of issues right now, but also long term. So we took him to basically a physical therapist for babies, and there's just like some exercises we have to do with him in order for him to kind of loosen up the side that is tight, and it's probably has to do with like his position in the womb, but also being so long in the womb, and he was 41 weeks, so he was a little bit bigger than most babies. But we need to loosen up basically like the side of his neck that is tight, and then pulling his head, and then creating like, it can create like the flat spots in your head, or even like push like bone structure forward because it's flattening in the back. So that it's not like a super serious thing. She says he's very like a mild case, which is good, and she thinks we can really work it out pretty quickly. But it is something we are working on. So that is probably like the biggest thing, the biggest concerning but not super concerning thing for him. And besides that, he's doing really great. Everything has come back great for him. He's super healthy. He nurses great. He's growing great. He is sleeping great. So we are super happy, super lucky. And he's just gonna nurse this whole time. But that is it for our update with baby Tabor. He is the sweetest little guy. So happy, so easygoing, and I just love seeing his little personality start to blossom. And it's just gonna keep blossoming, and I can't wait to really get to see who he's gonna be and what his personality is like. And I have like ideas of how I think he's gonna be just based off of, I don't know, intuition as well as experience with him, but it's really hard to tell at this point because he's still a sleepy little baby. He's only a month old, a month new in the world. So I'm excited to see for sure what kind of little personality he's gonna have. And definitely already so different from Juniper, which is crazy. But also they do some of the same things, which I think are just like newborn things, but like similar faces, similar sounds and stuff. So it's really fun to compare and see what's similar and what's different. So, but thanks so much for watching this update on Tabor. I was trying to think of a catchy title for this because I want to do monthly updates with him. And the only thing I could come up with was like keeping tabs on Tabor. So if you have a suggestion, definitely go to my Instagram page. I'll have it linked down in the description below, and send me your suggestions for this little segment, this little monthly video. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in our next one. Be where your feet are. Bye.